Those two. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I have it ready. How is everyone doing? How are you
Yes,
doing?
I am all right. How about you?
I'm nervous.
All
As
righty.
usual. I'm always nervous. Hello, Apple. Welcome in. I'm on the tiny screen today. And
Yes.
you may have noticed that Holy is at home today.
Yes.
If anyone noticed, it might have been Apple.
Really?
It's just a thought. It's fine.
Oh, never would have guessed.
There you go. It was just a thought. I mean, I might be wrong. He could just be anywhere. You never know, right? But I do think that he might be home. That explains the voices.
I
I do hope it's one voice, just so you know. I
have
don't.
many voices. You know that.
That's fair. We're about to do a bunch of voices.
Exactly. She hears all of the voices. All of my voices, at least.
Oh boy. How is the apple doing today?
Yes. And anyone else who just popped in.
Mhm. That's fair. She's the only one that actually has been in chat.
Mm-hmm.
My brain went to asking her.
Understandable. It
Yes.
is raining and thundering like crazy over here.
Can hear the thunder quite well.
It is. It's fantastic, but it's
No,
also
it's not.
loud.
It is loud, yes. Then it might be right above you, actually.
Yeah, it might be.
I don't know how fast the flashes are compared to the thunder.
I haven't actually seen any flashes. It is quite
Mm.
bright out because on one
Mm.
side the sun is breaking through the clouds.
Oh, then you might actually have a rainbow somewhere.
Probably.
You mentioned how much it was raining, so if the sun is out
Yeah.
somewhere, then there will be a rainbow. Just depends on your positioning.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen any flashes yet.
I mean, she might have seen some flashes from the other windows, which means it's
Yeah, yeah.
literally on the other side of the house. That's very fair.
I'm also facing away from the window.
Mm. Hello, Vixie.
Hello.
Welcome in. Thank you for coming.
Yeesh.
Don't know how long we should wait to start the
Couple of
chat.
minutes.
I never know. Especially when you're not here, we tend to talk differently.
Mm-hmm. Well, just a couple of minutes. Just get a little bit of a conversation going. No waiting. We need story.
Apple, the devourer of books.
Yes.
Yes.
Consumer of stories.
Bookworm. Not worm.
Yes.
Worm. She's Dorgan. She hoards them too.
Yes. Just
Partially
kidding.
kidding.
Partially kidding.
Not kidding. Hi, Mama! I'm
Hello.
very, very happy to see your name in chat.
It's emotional support, Momo.
Like, it's fine that you can't stay, but I'm really happy to see your name in chat.
Always appreciate.
Exactly. Yeet all the other people that are in the call in here too. Because I noticed. I saw them.
They've all made grave mistakes.
Yes, they have.
Biggest
They might
mistakes playing League.
they might be a little salty. Yes, like that, Apple. Bookworm. Exactly.
Like, no offense to anyone who likes League of Legends, but also why?
I mean, that's not an offense. Asking why is normal. I'm
Well,
so
it's more
sorry
the
to.
the way of saying why.
Meh,
The emphasis
why?
on why.
Why would you? That's fair.
Yeah, why would you do this to yourself?
I'm so sorry it took so long. I'm not up to date, but yeah, sometimes found out too late that you were streaming. I post it almost every time in the same week I will be streaming, and it's always 3 weeks unless something comes up, which is rarely.
Yes.
The only time I didn't actually do it in the week was this week because last week we were supposed to stream, and I actually mentioned in the cancellation that it was going to be this week.
Oh, the
I
salt
just
is not that high. Good.
I just like playing magic characters and just sometimes hearing their voice getting salty, soft level, I can giggle about it. Yeah. During the day itself, I'm busy and I forget. That's for cuddles for Momo and Fixie. Well, then we need two of them.
Yes.
Cuddles, Calcifer and Toko.
Yes, some people do partake in some sort of masochistic activities, like League. Some people, yeah, some people like, yeah, well, some people partake. That works too. Like partaking as well.
I think that's what she tried to say, yeah. If the
Either way
boys
is
get
fine.
so salty, I step out of the group. Yeah, that's also fair. I don't like fights,
Yeah,
so if people get really bad against each other, I might also leave calls, which I usually only join them to be there for the fun. If it's no more fun, I might as well leave. This is literally the only fire I will ever get this close to. Yes.
yes.
Also, since Vixie was so very sweet to give them to them, she'll get the baby shark because I have a
Save your kidneys and walk away from salt.
baby shark. Yes, or just don't start. Calcifer, yes, Calcifer.
We didn't start the fire.
I
It
see
was always burning.
fire through the rain.
Yeah,
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I like Kelsey. Calcifer's cute.
Calcifer looks so different.
Yes. Didn't we show that on stream last time? I don't remember. Or was that something else?
I don't remember.
That's fair. Yeah.
We may have. Anyway, Calcifer looks really different. So if you know the Ghibli version of Calcifer, keep it at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
the Diana Wynne Jones version of Calcifer is horrendous. So
It's
yeah,
also like two completely different colors. It's not red and orange or yellow, but green and blue.
yeah, it's blue with green hair and orange eyes.
Yeah.
So if there ever was a color clash, it would be Calcifer.
Just the eyes, though. I think green and blue go together well. It's just the thing
No,
itself looks
no,
horrendous.
green and blue
But
do
like
not go together well.
on a normal day for anything else, green and blue go well together.
No.
Sippy sippy. Hello, Joker. Welcome in. I have taken my sippy.
Yes, sippy sippy. Mm.
I uh I made a pattern of something that Apple had, or Apple wrote the pattern, and she's selling them on Etsy. And
Mm-hmm.
I made a little cactus heart, and it's
Nice.
going to my little brother because he loves cactuses, cacti, cacti. That one.
Ketchup.
I should make a tiny bottle of ketchup.
Yes. Yes, you should.
I may need Apple's help for that. Actually, I may be able to do that. It's cute, right? It's like a little orange flower instead of pink because I didn't have the pink. Well, I did have a pink, but it was really, really soft pink, like that. No, that
What?
that crystal right there, that pink, um, from the outline, like this, the soft
Oh,
outline of that, like
all
the
right.
very baby pink. I was like, that's not the correct pink, but I like this orange, so it looks really cute.
It's a bit of salmony orange.
I think I could be. I could do it because it's technically just a little cylinder. I should be able to make that.
Are you gonna make it a cylinder with a little smaller cylinder on top? So you have the Heinz ketchup bottles, like the
Just like
glass bottles.
put it in, yeah,
Yeah,
and then I make a little felted front with Heinz on it.
little red and white. Oh, now I saw a flash.
I think I might be able to. I'll see if I can. I mean, he's not gonna come back for another probably 2 months. So I have plenty
Oh,
of
you
time to
got time.
figure it out. Yes.
Hell yeah. Sounds great.
I mean, I also still have all of the time that I need to make him the panda that I promised him.
Hmm.
It's also gonna take a second, but that'll be fine.
Yes. I think it's gonna take a little more than a second.
I think it's gonna take like 2 weeks, but yes.
For 2 seconds.
Yes.
That is a 200% increase. So
Yes. Well,
yes,
is it?
one
From two
second to two
seconds?
seconds is a 200% increase.
Oh, like that. Yeah, no, that's fair. So I'll be here, but I'll lurk because still catching up. That's fair. Did you even listen to any of it yet? I'm very curious if you did. He's been working so much on his book that I haven't been able to catch up yet. Also, I haven't really been able
that,
to check because my brain was a bit
that
full.
giant panda is really good. It's
Nice.
so cool.
Is it a white panda? Because I promised my little brother a red panda, which is why I have the orange. But I figured this tiny amount should probably be enough, be fine. And I,
Yes, it is. It
if
is a. It is
this
a regular panda.
if this is gonna make me lose at yarn chicken, I'm gonna be so upset.
Yes.
But I doubt it. I should be fine. Yeah, my panda will probably fit in hands. It's gonna be tiny. Got to chapter 5. Well, that would be 6 because it was 3 chapters each.
No, but he didn't finish that one yet. So we got to
Okay.
chapter 5. Have his place saved on YouTube. So
Yeah,
he
that's
can pick it
fair.
up.
That's fair. Is that
So
from this
he
book or
didn't
from the
finish the second
first?
video.
That's fair.
That's a good point.
It would be very upsetting. I actually hope I have the pattern still, because a lot of those books have actually been taken off of Storytel.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I still have the correct one saved, and it was still available.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Rumble, rumble, rumble. Starting to think, Holy, that it isn't actually thunder, but it might be your stomach.
Um. Well, I'm not saying it isn't.
That's fair. Did you not have breakfast yet?
I had some.
Was it another 5 cookies?
No, it was a
Okay.
leftover bit of raisin bowl that I still had.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was good.
He's on the first book. Okay. Good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Getting called out at pizza. But this is your dinner. You're fine. Pizza for dinner's totally normal.
Breakfast for dinner is also totally normal.
That's fair. So when
When
did
did
Holly eat
when did
last
I
time?
eat last night or last time? That would be probably like 3 hours ago. I think.
Just before call then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Well, it
breakfast
was
and
breakfast
lunch
and
and
lunch
dinner.
and dinner. That's fair.
Yeah,
It is fine.
pizza is a good uh, base.
Anything.
It has like all the savoriness, and it has fats, and it has different kinds of
Vegetable.
sugars in it. Um, that really gets you through the day on a pizza. And that's good. It's a good base. It's good breakfast.
Meanwhile, I didn't have food until Seven actually went to the store earlier. We had cookies. I had 5 cookies.
Oh, oh no.
Well, I actually had 2 more because at some point during our call I grabbed some more. But I technically had 7 cookies.
Mm,
Don't tell Seven that I had 7 cookies.
I won't. You will.
Agree the
Yeah, it's a
universal
perfectly
meal
fine
for any
meal.
time of the day. It probably wasn't enough, but we'll see how it goes. I'll be hungry at the end of this.
Yeah, same.
Shall we start?
Sounds good.
Is
Thunder.
everybody ready? I'll wait for Apple to say it in chat.
I'll wait for the thunder to fade.
I mean, you will still always be louder than the thunder, so as long as you have me cranked up and you can hear me, we're probably fine.
Good.
It's not that loud on
Good.
my end.
Ready.
Ready? Are you ready?
I am ready.
Cool. Chapter 32. The workshop was a flurry of clattering sounds, metal pieces bumping into each other, sparks flying, and boxes were strewn everywhere. Valentina, Delira, and Ida had tried to clean up after Ida's and Zenith, but a few hours in, they had given up the task and went on with work of their own. Should we make some food? Lachlan and Hazard haven't returned, but all this work, they must be very hungry, Ira said, pointing towards Ida's and Zenith. You might be right. Heck, I'm getting hungry just looking at them. I'm sure we can keep some of it warm until the guys are back. At that moment the door swung open, followed by Lachlan's usual singing hello and Hazard's groaning the moment the singing started.
Have you two really been working all this time? You must have had a break in between.
Setting their findings at the only space not occupied by random bits and pieces, the table, Hazard threw himself in a chair and started turning knobs and screws on his leg and arm, adjusting tensions. No breaks. Who needs breaks? Not us. We're a well-oiled machine, we are. Ida's yelled. She clearly had too much Bakuru for one day. I'm not tired at all, Zenith said calmly, still working on connecting the parts she had been trying to adhere together. We're just about to make some dinner. You expected everyone to be hungry by now. Hungry, yes, very. Work tough. Gotta finish. Ida's speech became more stunted and disjointed.
All right, miss, you've done well enough. Time to sit down and relax.
Hazard grabbed Ida's shoulders and lifted her up from her workbench stool. Like a kitten grabbed in the neck, she held completely still, surprising even herself. It was as if she turned off. No struggles, just cooperation. She was put back down near the table and plopped into a chair.
What were you working on anyway?
Hazard asked, walking back to the workbench. Ida stayed silent, apart from a soft, "Thanks, Arrow." On the desk he found the commissions book sprawled open, check marks neatly aligned in a column, one for each name in the list. Next to the book lay a shipping crate full of brown paper packages, with the Mido house crust stamped in red ink, ready to be shipped. On the desk stood a glowing box. Its purple hue shone on the blueprints it was standing on. Hazard peered into the small hole in the top. He felt like he was looking at the night sky, directly into space.
Is this a space stone prison thingy?
Yep, just gotta fit Caropus and Locus in, Ida answered dreamily.
Oh, so you made progress. I'm gonna take a look.
Lachlan jumped up from his chair and waded through the loose parts towards the bench. Take a seat, everyone. We've made dinner, Valentina announced, walking back into the room with Ira. Valentina was carrying a large serving dish with grains and a vegetable mix, while Ira held a large plate of meat. This recipe I used to make for myself in the past, but I would have added the meat in. I kept you in mind, she said. She nodded at Delira, who nodded back with an appreciative smile. Gathering around the table, everyone grabbed a full plate and started eating. Even Zenith took more than usual to replenish some of the energy she had used helping Idas. Meanwhile, Idas was scarfing down her food like a starved hound, a proper indication that she had only lived off of pakuru and breakfast for the day. Short conversations sparked up about Hazard and Lachlan's trip out, but both the men didn't feel like they had much news to share. When everyone had their fill, Ida's having about twice her regular meal size, and the serving dishes sporting only crumbs, Valentina and Ira went to bring the dishes away, followed by Delira with the remainder. Zenith was eager to continue working after Ida's very happy to see looked very happy every time Zenith said she was done with another part. Ida's walked back to her workstation where, to her surprise, she found the relics gone. Hazard, did you also move the relics when you put me in the chair?
I didn't touch any.
He cut off his sentence, being interrupted by a cold chuckle.
Poor little Idas. Such a busybody. Can't even take care of herself. Are you looking for these rocks?
A voice all too familiar spoke.
Are you all such simpletons to let them lay about the place? Are you really that dull?
Juggling the rocks in one hand, the other pinking away tears from his eyes in laughter, Lachlan was hovering near the front door. Zenith and Idas were the first to step towards Lachlan. What are you doing? Zenith, Zenith looked him over and realized that his feet weren't touching the ground.
You ignorant fools! After all this time, you've still not figured it out.
A slow, dry chuckle escaped him.
You probably shouldn't have left these lying about, little Idas.
He juggled the relics in one hand. Idas looked menacing, fire in her eyes, but remained silent.
What's gotten into you? I should have punched it out again? Try me.
Hazard rushed forward, his hand raised beside his head. Lachlan leisurely drifted away from him, closed his eyes for a second, and when he opened them again they were completely purple, in stark contrast with his green hair, shining like the locust's light. Hazard's arm began to rattle. One by one the screws that held it together came loose and softly clinked on the wooden floorboards. Larger pieces were falling down until, upon reaching Lachlan, there was only his shoulder socket left, the floor strewn with metal parts.
I had warned you. Don't make me do the same to your other arm.
Lachlan taunted, with humor in his voice. What is this? Why are you doing this? Valentina asked, shocked. Zenith stepped forward again, her wings flaring out a little in her anger. What happened to never hurting your friends? She called out to him. His smile faded. He looked her dead in the eyes.
Who said you were my friends?
He said with a straight face, stuffing the rocks in his endless pockets to free his hands. He pulled his ring off of his middle finger and threw it out the window. The small silver band shimmered as it flew across the room. Zenith was dumbfounded by Lachlan's words. Never had she expected him to feel that way, but his face said it all. It meant every word. Ida's eyes followed the ring. He had entrusted her with it before, in moments where the group had been split up. A promise to come back, so easily tossed aside. Answer me! Valentina bellowed, breaking the silence. The air had slowly started thrumming with pressure. This power, that's you? Zenith asked, recognizing the feeling immediately as magic humming in the air.
Yes, that is me. That ring was to hide my power from you all. I needed these relics to reassemble my army. No, wait, you call them imps. When my army is back together, this continent will fall into chaos, with me as its ruler.
Lachlan's speech was drawn out, his usual deep voice replaced with a slow, methodical, sinister tone. You can't! You can't unleash those creatures! We captured them to keep people safe!
My goal was never to keep people safe. I am the Lord of Chaos, the King of Entropy.
His maniacal laughter filled the room. What use is chaos? Why would you endanger innocent lives? What did they ever do to you? Lachlan's face shrouded itself in dark anger.
They locked me away, little girl. Sounds like you deserved it.
Growled Hazard. He had retreated back to the rest of the group. Darkness and chaos isn't the answer. You've been our friend. We trusted you, Zenith said, trying to guide him back to what they knew of him.
You've lived your life frolicking, completely oblivious to what this world has to offer. This world is due to end, and it shall be with fire, chaos, glory. None of you people would understand. Insipid, dull little creatures. Trusted what you shouldn't have trusted. Befriended a devil. I used you all to get closer to my army. My sweet, sweet destruction, how I yearn for you.
Lachlan stared into space. Fire, chaos, glory, Zenith echoed. Her skin started to glow softly. None of those are good. Pride and glory will be your downfall. She stared him down as the glow became brighter, his eyes only showing the slightest worry. Those creatures you believe to be chaos, they can be good. Anything has the capacity to be good. They just have to choose it, she growled, the shine ever brightening. She stepped forward, her bright aura coming dangerously close to him. Darkness leaked from him now, shrouding him. His eyes were still wary, but around his lips played a wicked smile.
I have no further need for you,
He said flippantly. Her bright aura touched his darkness, and a bright light filled the workshop. When it lifted, they heard Lachlan growl and retreat through the doors, and Zenith sank to her knees. Her wings, once leathery and grey, brilliant white and feathered once more. She sighed once and slumped forward on her stomach, unconscious. Delera was the first to reach Zenith's unconscious form. She gently touched the girl's shoulders and face. The glow had completely dissipated, but her wings had stayed, bright white and feathered, just like she had described to them before. I believe she has gone into a meditative state. We should put her on the blankets. Valentina walked over and without a word picked Zenith up carefully and placed her, on her side, on the makeshift bed. A long silence stretched between them as they tried to wrap their heads around what had happened. That was something, wasn't it? Should we wait until she's awake or assess the damage now? Probably take inventory. Let's see. A couple broken window panes, an unconscious Zenith, a smashed door, two missing relics, an evil Lachlan on the loose. Is that everything? Ida summed up. Hazard had been scrounging up the pieces of his arm and made a disgruntled noise, but he didn't speak. His jaws were clenched so tightly together, all of them could see how angry he was. I guess I'll get to work on fixing that arm for you. One that isn't so easily torn apart. Idas walked over to her workbench, the unfinished imprint still sitting there. She shoved it aside, including the blueprints strewn about, and started sketching a new arm design.
Thanks,
Murmured Hazard, his face still thunderous. Idas worked on the drawings for over an hour. Then she picked several choice pieces from the scrap bins and some other crates before setting to work. It didn't take long after that for louder construction sounds to fill the shop. It was a loud banging, trying to get pieces of metal in the correct shape, that made Zenith stir. Drowsily she tried to sit up, but she sank back into the pillow. The shoulder piece and tricep plates were formed out of one metal sheet, carefully yet rigorously tapped with a hammer. Not even you would be able to take this apart, Hazard. I'm making this even sturdier than your leg, which was already miles ahead of your old arm. Ida stopped her bashing to talk, but didn't wait for a reply before she continued making a ruckus. Oh, And I can add cool features too, like a laser beam, grappling hook, rotary saw, you name it.
I'd like to wait to light a fire, like a flamethrower in my palm or something.
Hazard stood up and walked towards the workbench. On his way, he noticed Zenith's eyes were very small in the seconds of her waking. Without saying anything, he continued his stride, letting her wake at her own pace. It took another few minutes to actually sit up and look around. In that time, the memories came flooding back. Is everyone okay? She asked, hurriedly looking around. We're all fine, all but Lachlan. We were worried about you. Ira tried to calm her down. Good morning on planet Zenith. Have we landed properly? I hope my work didn't wake you. I don't know if it did, Zenith answered honestly to Ida's. Then she turned to Ira. I'm okay. When I heard it, I shouldn't have used any of my power without my halo. I'm not supposed to be able to, but something opened inside me. It just happened. I was so angry. I used way too much energy. That's why my body shut down. Your wings seem to have changed too. Is this what they used to look like before you were forced to change? Delira looked over at Zenith's shoulder to her wings, brilliant and feathery. A small patch of light grey feathers covering the place where her scar had been. Zenith immediately flared them open and pulled them around her. They're back, she muttered in a small, breaking voice. She gently touched the scarred area and was almost relieved some difference remained. She herself had changed, and this, to her, was a perfect representation. Yes, she said, once her voice didn't waver anymore. These are my wings. They look glorious. They fit you better than the scaly draconian wings you had before, which were pretty cool too. Valentina snuck a hand to her bestiary, hoping she could write and draw out her findings about without Zenith's noticing. Halo, huh? Is that some sort of test? Send someone far away as a test of will? Would you earn the halo? Idas looked at Zenith, a quizzical look in her expression. Zenith opened her mouth to answer, but was interrupted by a soft knocking on the door, slightly sagging in its hinges from Lachlan's unruly escape. There we go.
Go.
So for anyone that didn't notice, I'm not gonna put up me on the big screen. We're gonna look at the pretty rock.
That's right. You rarely get to see this rock.
Exactly. Well, every end of chapter.
Yes, but only for so long.
True. That is true. Are we liking it so far? Beep beep.
Perfect timing, isn't it? Right in
the
the chapter end.
Done?
Yep.
I actually added
Perfectly
yesterday.
in the chapter end to be done. That's amazing.
I think I had it either yesterday or Friday. I was walking in the kitchen. I was like, "What is this beeping?" And it ended up being the dishwasher as well, which had been done for a while. But I think it stays like on for half an hour, and then it starts beeping like, "Hey, I'm gonna turn off now."
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. Don't know if I'm liking this now. Same. How dare he? How dare he indeed? Yeah, that's the maniacal laughter I was waiting for.
I love this. It's been so long in the making because we've actually had this planned from the start.
Yes.
We didn't really have the text already, of course. We didn't
No, it
know
was planned.
what was coming up. But
You said it
the shift
perfectly.
the shift was planned.
Yeah.
And goddamn, it worked out so well.
Oh no, of course it was the cheery singing mysterious bard that was really the evil in the end. Yep.
Well, if you say it like that, that sounds cliche, doesn't it?
But in all honesty though, did you see it coming? Because I wouldn't have. Not the way we wrote Lachlan. Lachlan was great. Yes. I loved Lachlan so much. Like,
Emphasis on the D at the end of love.
yes, absolutely. So, for anyone who does actually remember from 4 weeks ago, there was a bit where Lachlan is speaking with Zenith about the child um, being used as a means to an end, and she was so adamant against that. And at some point, Zenith asked like, "Would you do that to me?" And Lachlan says, "I wouldn't hurt my
Hurt my
friends."
friends.
I The moment we wrote this, I was like, we need to add this. And both of us hated it, but we had to add it. And like, we're never friends. I never said we were friends.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's very good. Nope, but not surprised afterwards. No, that's fair. Hindsight is 2020. But yeah, these
Did not
chapters
expect,
were
but the surprise didn't blow me away.
exactly the
It wasn't
Lachlan
out of left
angle
field,
is
I'd say that much.
the Lachlan angle has been a journey for me. I don't like him being the bad guy, but I also think he fits so well to be the bad guy for how we
Oh
wrote
yeah,
the story.
it was so funny to write this story.
Absolutely.
Some parts were honestly they were so clear that he isn't a good guy so
Yeah.
far, and now the turn shifts, and it's like, oh god, now I gotta read back the entire story just to see where this shit already popped up.
Yep. He definitely makes choices in a different way than other people do.
Yes,
It's good.
but yeah, it was really fun to write Lachlan. Uh,
I mean, maybe this is a great place because we did actually agree to make it known here um, to explain that we've actually finished this story.
yes,
We
we
have
have started on book 3.
completed the entirety of Relic and started on the next one,
Yes,
which name will be a surprise for a while.
yes, exactly. Until it becomes relevant.
Well, probably until we start streaming it.
Well, then it would be relevant, wouldn't it?
Yes. Thank you, Alba. You didn't know any of that, did you? Something something helping me proofread all the things.
Yeah.
I made a short background story for my character in a D&D campaign, probably also cliche as well. Ooh.
Honestly, anything has been done before, so
Yes, it's just a matter of how you write it.
exactly.
I had no idea. Then there may be some parts you may want to read in our combined chat if you actually had no idea.
What do you mean? I just have 300 missed messages in that chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like the thing about cliches and tropes. They are
Yeah.
so cliche, they are so bad, but also they work, so we use them over and over again.
Well, they
Because
are a
why would
cliche
you?
because they work.
Yeah, like why would you not if it worked? Do you like the
Like the
backgrounds?
background of putting
Nice.
ASIC.
Now I wonder, have you been listening in anyway, or did you realize that this was a chapter break?
I think you
Oh,
may have
that
listened
was what those messages were about. Yes, Apple, that's what they were about.
Oh.
All this gibberish, I don't understand. Who are these people? Yes, they should not be overused.
4 screens, yeah.
4 screens, dude. I knew you had a few. I didn't know you had four.
It does not surprise me.
It does to me. I thought he had three, which I think is already more than most people that I know. Did you
I
have
also have
three or four?
3.
You had 3. And Frog has 3 too.
I have 2 regular ones and a
Upright.
portrait.
Yeah. I need to go proofread mine and send mine over. If you want me to proofread it, I'd happily do that for you. After stream.
Oh yeah.
2 PCs, 4 screens, 2 keyboards, and a mouse. Well, then, do you have 2 screens per computer? Or do you have 4 screens for one computer with no screens? Or there's so many different variations of this.
2 screens per
2
PC.
per.
Aha! Well,
See,
that's
to me,
something
then you don't
different,
have
isn't it?
4 screens.
Because I have 1 PC and 3 screens attached to them.
Ow, I had to crack my neck. One takes a stream intel from the other PC and sends it out to you lovely people. Okay.
Ah, yes. So you have a runner and a streamer PC. To separate those, so you have a low power PC to actually send that through and make like the overlays and everything, and that's what that PC does. And then you have your runner PC, which is the big beefy one. Yeah, exactly. Cool.
So
Sick.
now I will rescind the not having 4 screens, because if they both work in sync and together, then yes,
Yeah.
I guess that works.
So basically, he has a PC that runs everything, and then he sends it to the streaming PC, which would be like it would be sending to a server, and that server sends it out to the internet.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, to me, when you say I have 2 PCs with 2 screens each, to me that means that there's a setup here and a setup there, and they are separate. But the way you now explained it and stuff, it makes more sense.
It makes it a little bit more complex to set up, but also easier to separate things from each other, which is really nice.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I just have a laptop and an extra screen.
I would love to set up a streaming PC, but I don't have that kind of money or space.
That's fair. Well, you might in the next house.
Maybe, yeah.
Who knows? It's mostly for inconsistencies or so. It's fair. Meanwhile, I have a laptop. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, technically, I don't have an extra screen. I do, but it's 7's, and it's technically a TV, not a PC screen.
I only have a laptop without a screen. That's just a keyboard, Feeks.
Yeah. Well, it can be the computer bit and the keyboard, but you're still missing a part there.
Yeah.
I know my setup is redonkulous. I got it because of uni grant and my computer science course, so I needed a good PC or better. That's fair. That's makes sense.
Yeah. Apple only has a laptop because he likes the flexibility as well.
Yeah, it is. That's also
a
the
good
reason
upgrade
why
would be a second screen that she could just put on one place, and then like that would be her working space, and then anywhere she wants to move to, she still has the laptop, which is really nice.
Which
Without
is exactly
an extra screen. Thank you, Holy.
Which is exactly why I have the setup that I do. Exactly for the same reason.
It's very similar to how you and Seven have it. Is how
Seven
Apple
doesn't.
and I have it.
Oh, so yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Gotcha.
Seven has his big beefy PC. I have my big beefy PC. And Apple has her laptop.
You just have
your laptop.
You just have the extra screen that Apple's lacking.
Basically, yeah.
Seven has 2 screens, you have 3. I have 1 extra, she has none extra. So give her one of them, and where our setup is the same.
We usually do that though. When she's sitting at my desk to do something together, then she would usually take the second screen that I have, or
Is that
third
the
one.
one that usually has the Switch and stuff on it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I can either give her the console screen, so anything that runs. Well, it's a screen that I use for my PC or any of my consoles.
Yeah.
Or I can give her the portrait screen, which if
Yeah.
it's just a stationary image or something, like she's making something, then that would be a perfect place because then I have my 2 screens next to each other, and then she still has the tall screen, which is
Yeah.
4K, so that's also a lot of real estate.
True.
EVE Online plays in 2 screens. Oh boy.
Fair.
Oh boy. Oh, yours, okay.
That's also fair. I see
you
that
just like
everything is
playing
buggy.
together on your own.
So I wonder if to you guys I look buggy, because I don't know if it's the output that my computer's going back to me, because it says that my frames are fine, no drop frames per second is perfect, CPU is perfect. I don't know if I look choppy.
I don't think so.
I don't
I think
know.
you look fine.
Because the feedback I'm getting from my webcam in OBS looks choppy. It's really weird.
Oh yeah. That is actually pretty normal for OBS to be a little bit late and slow
Yeah.
to save
Well,
on frames.
I mostly wanted to ask because the new modem that we put in seems to be
Mm-hmm.
worse than the old one. We had a fairly good one. We had to replace it because ours was 10 years old, and we were like, oh, well, then it's going to be better, right? No, it's not. Because if I'm
Yeah.
now on my Wi-Fi in my bedroom, which is next to, like, there's literally one wall separating me and the modem, I cannot have this call with Holy and play a game. I can
Right.
only do the call. The game will not work. Last time I tried Starter with you, remember? I had to move back to the living room.
Where is your modem?
It's in the little room, Seven's room.
Yes, but where?
Underneath, well, mostly underneath a cabinet. It has a lot of space. It's standing upright. It's in the corner.
Is it underneath a metal cabinet?
It's metal and wood.
Yeah, that might be blocking it.
I don't know where else to put it though.
I don't know. But
I'll
that might
discuss
be
it.
blocking it.
I'll discuss it with Seven. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both on cable, and still, it's not always great. But at least we're
Yeah.
both on cable.
I am sort of on cable.
Sort of.
Yeah, I have a cable connected from my PC to a Wi-Fi extender that is connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if that cable like were to fall away, I have my Wi-Fi adapter in my PC still, so that works too.
That's fair.
It's more so a direct connection to the Wi-Fi instead of a DHCP one. So
Cable, I'm rather lucky that we have fiber to the router, so basically fiber straight to my PC. That is nice.
oh,
We
sick.
should be getting fiber.
That is really nice. Yeah.
We had word that it was gonna start in March when the lockdown was still a thing, so they never actually ended up starting that. Well, we should be getting fiber around here as well. Just now don't
When I
know
was
when.
when I was still living at my mom's place, they promised fiber for the entire like area in like
Mm-hmm.
2015. Never did it.
That's also annoying. Well, we actually got messages that they were gonna start next March on
Hmm.
construction, and then because COVID started, it never actually happened.
Yeah, great. Average 900 down and 250 up. Bro, I want it. Give it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Give it to
And you
me.
could immediately start streaming again.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have another chapter to go. Are you
Yes,
guys
we aren't
ready to
done yet.
listen to me? Are you ready, guys?
Are you ready, kids? No? Okay.
Yeah, it usually depends on how many people actually sign up. If not enough people do, they scrap the plan. That's annoying, yeah.
Yep.
Aye, aye! Thank you, Fixie.
There we go. I can't hear you.
Well,
I
I can
actually can't
hear,
hear you or chat, so
I
you can
can hear
yell all you
apples.
want.
I can hear apples ready with the exclamation point. I can hear that one in my head.
Yes.
Are
Turn
you
up the
ready?
volume.
Are you
I am
ready,
ready,
Holmes?
yes.
Chapter 33. All of the heads in the workshop turned to the door, where they saw two heads poking in. Wit! You're here?
Zenith, how have you been holding up out there? They are in a right state back home. They saw you use your powers and sent us to come collect you post haste. Haven't seen you since we studied together. They made us into acquires, Ileana and I, after we got our halos.
Wit spoke in a soft, regal voice. Their friend, Eliana, looked somewhat nervous, fidgeting carefully with the waistline of her uniform. Zenith looked uncomfortable for a moment. Then she decided to reply to their last words. Acquirers, huh? Well done! Very prestigious, she praised, beaming at them, but still looking away. Oh, and it's nice to meet you, Eliana. Zenith looked around for a moment. These are my friends, she said, pointing at them as they spoke their names. Idas, Delira, Ira, Hazard, and Valentina. The collective said their welcomes, and Idas motioned Zenith and the other angels to sit down at the table. As everyone sat down, Zenith took a moment to take a deep breath and then spoke again. Guys, this is Wit. They are from home, where I come from. I I know why you're here, of course. I heard the call. Would you three like something to drink? I could ask Idas or Hazard for a cup of Pakodo if you'd like, Valentina asked them. The others went to do their own thing a little bit away, so Zenith could speak in somewhat privacy. Delara sat on her mattress, leaning against the wall, reading her book. Idas continued on the shoulder piece for Hazard as he hovered around her, looking over her shoulder whenever she didn't need him for measurements. And Ira went to the kitchen to prepare the drinks as soon as Valentina gave the signal.
We don't need any sustenance, thank you.
What is Pekuru? It's not to be explained by mere words.
It is to be enjoyed, gaining explanation through the sensation.
I'd like to try it then. Like Wit said, we don't need it, but we do enjoy it from time to time. We try not to indulge ourselves too often to avoid creating a craving. Eliana had an equally soft voice to Wit's, except where their tone was an androgynous timbre. Eliana's was relatively high-pitched. In the kitchen, Ira immediately started on the process, humming softly to herself. In the whole whirlwind that had been happening that day, it seemed the most normal thing that happened overall. Valentina nodded with a friendly look on her face, and went to work on her bestiary, undoubtedly noting down the differences between the now 3 angels in the room.
You heard the call. Why didn't you return right away?
They looked curious, not at all judgingly. I didn't return, in part because after I used all that power, I fell into a meditation, so I couldn't. I see. We came early, Wit. The Almighty didn't consider the time difference and her energy consumption. You say In part? What is the other part? Elena's friendly, soft voice still carried some weight in her questioning. I I can't come yet, she answered, finding her confidence in the middle of the sentence. I have more work to do here.
You are similar to your brother. It must run in the family, seeing as you both feel the need to continue what you started. I'm sure the Almighty will find it in their collective hearts to let you return here.
You misunderstand. I don't intend to return home before finishing my work here. We just uncovered our friend to be a foe. Stole from these people, my friends. I cannot let that stand. We will plunge this realm into darkness and chaos. I felt his energy. It isn't right.
With the knowledge you have picked up from your brother, you should know that you'll be sent back to this exact time. So no matter how long the processes will take back at home, you'll have all the time you would now. The only difference is that it's sanctioned. Disobeying the Almighty can and will have dire consequences. You'd better be off coming along nicely.
Wit's expression darkened slightly, their tone pressing. What are they talking about, see? Home? The Almighty? These people know of your brother? Was he famous or something? Idas asked in rapid succession. I won't come. I'll accept the consequences. Wait, I was sent here to learn. To learn about good and bad and the in-betweens. What happened made me see. I felt the call. It told me I learned enough to come back home. Can't you see that I can't? These people are in danger. If the Almighty wants to teach me to be good, I need to do the right thing. That means seeing this through. Not later, but now. She shot an apologetic look at Idas, unsure this was the right time to answer her questions.
I see. Very well. Elena, we will explain to the Almighty what happened here. And Zenith, I do hope the Almighty are as benevolent as we are. If the story of disobedience are true, it could spell a much greater evil for you than for this realm. Let us return, Elena.
Wit spun on her heel and walked towards the front doors. Is there really no way to convince you to see the Almighty? You know about time not moving in this realm while you're away, being sent back to this moment? Ileana asked, holding a hand near Wit to stop them from leaving. Zenith looked from Wit to Ileana. I do know. It's too important. I can't rush off for weeks and train like my brother did. There are things I need to do here, now. I will take full responsibility. If you wish, you may convey that to the Almighty. I will accept whatever punishment if they allow me to remain for now. Very well. We will explain this to the Almighty on your behalf. We can't, however, promise that the Almighty does not summon you again, and if they do, it'll be on much worse terms. We hate to warn you like this, but the choice is yours. You seem steadfast and righteous. I hope for us all that the Almighty can see it that way too. Eliana stood up, following Wit to the doors. Thank you, Zenith said sincerely. As they opened the door, the sun was high in the sky. Eliana and Wit opened their large feathered wings, the bright rays of the sun making them glow. Eliana's wings were a cream color, with some sandy brown feathers mixed in. Wit's wings were large, majestic and slightly stone gray, with spots of slate breaking it up.
May the lights guide you, Zenith, daughter of the quick, sister of the forest soul.
They shot into the air and disappeared in the first cloud along their path back home. Zenith heaved a sigh of relief and sank back into the chair at the table. She was afraid to look up at her friends, knowing that they deserved answers, but they all seemed to realize she needed a moment to breathe. Everyone but Zenith went on with their tasks around the house. Ira had finished making the pakoro that Ileana now never got to taste. She brought a cup to Idas and Hazard, knowing they'd be happy to drink it. She also offered some to Delira and Valentina silently. Delira declined politely. I wouldn't mind, but it would need a lot of sugar. I might start bouncing off the walls in a while, though, Valentina admitted gingerly. So, what did they want you to do? Idas asked subtly, hoping for Zenith to answer her questions from before. Zenith's head shot up, not having realized Idas had come anywhere near her again. Sorry, she muttered, waving for her to sit down. Ira only moved over to set a glass of water in front of Zenith, as she had done for Delira too. It seemed the only thing the girl would regularly drink without prompt. They wanted me to return home with them, Zenith said, as Idas plopped down in one of her chairs. She took another deep breath and seemed to be at a loss for words, clearly too many thoughts passing through her head. What were they talking about? Going back home? Why would that not be a choice? I can imagine your family requesting your return, but these almighties seem a little intrusive. And they know of your brother? Is he a famous person? Are you the sister of a celebrity? Idas fired her question reel once more. Zenith chuckled softly, looking up at her friend. He isn't so much famous, but he also is. He was gone for the longest in an age for his quest. She saw the faces of everyone become confused, so she heaved one last sigh and began. As you all know, I'm an angel. As a rite of passage among our people, we have to earn our halo. She gestured at her head vaguely. We do this by being sent out, by the Almighty, to do our own quest. She barely paused as she heard Valentina's pencil start scribbling away. The Almighty is our highest authority. They are the ones that decide everything, including my return. Being requested home, being called home, isn't something most people would willingly ignore, for it can have dire consequences. They they may even withhold my halo. They said something about time standing still while you're gone. How does that work? Valentina asked, scribbling away in her notebook. Our realm works differently. It's the main realm where all of the others come from. Time works differently in correlation to each other. All right. So, in other terms, in order to become an adult, you get sent to a different country by the government. In that country, you need to find out what you're supposed to do, and then they pull you back. The lady put a lot of emphasis on the time being different. Wouldn't it mean that if you go to your homeland and speak to the almighty people, you'd be able to get your halo and return here without us realizing you'd be gone? Give the girl some space, one question at a time. Zenith looked between Idas and Valentina for a moment and decided to answer them in order. And that would be what happens, yes. My brother had to return on his own volition for his quest, while I needed to learn morals and values, it seems. She then turned to Valentina. It would mean I would be gone for moments in your perception. For mine, however, I could be gone for weeks or months. They could also choose not to let me return at all. I couldn't take the risk. If you only had the certainty of returning, then there wouldn't be no reason not to go. So everyone's quest is different? It's a neat tradition, I'll give them that, but forcing people into being obedient seems a little archaic, don't you think? Idas looked at Delira, pulling her into the conversation too. It certainly is interesting. There's no argument in others' traditions. My tribe has some archaic rituals too, such as a general disdain of outsiders that seem to be inherited through parenting. Idas looked even more confused at Delira than she did to Zenith, and with a sigh she stood up. I'm gonna continue on my project. I'm almost done with it anyway, and the conversation outclasses my intelligence anyway. She strolled over to her workstation, picking up the contraption on its surface and poking at it with a screwdriver. Zenith could see Valentina rearing to ask more questions, but she held up a hand. I could really use some time to meditate properly, if you all wouldn't mind. I understand. Take your rest. I'll write out what I have learned so far. Zenith, seemingly heavy with burden, hauled herself over to her bedspread and positioned herself comfortably to meditate. She didn't even hear the noises Idas was making in the background to build her contraptions. All of the others found things to do for themselves, and if they didn't, Idas would give them instructions to help her finish the machines as fast as she could. They needed to start moving, and fast. They all knew it and would do anything they were instructed to make it happen. And Fippy, that's a great idea, Momo. Thank you.
Yes, and it came out. It came in at a great timing as well because it was. It came in right when Ira placed the water in front of Zenith. So that was great.
That's great. I like that.
Which is incredibly accurate as well.
Yeah, that's fully fair. It's also around the time I started having trouble with my voice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pour myself a drink as well. Because I ran out of mine.
Understandable. So, you guys like it? It's good, right?
Absolutely.
Great timing.
Yush. There we go. Yeah.
So my phone had been going off and I've been ignoring it. This is too funny not to share. But Rens posted a link to the rug that he has because we were at his place yesterday for his birthday and he has a rug that is softer than soft. It's ridiculous. Everyone wants it. So he posted it and apparently it's on sale. You may want to confiscate Apple's wallet because she already noticed.
No. Apple is really good at knowing when to
When
pay for
not to.
what, when to buy
Yeah.
stuff. She has even stopped buying books for making the move lighter.
That's fair.
So I don't think she would be crazy enough to buy a rug now.
That's fair. I mean, usually you can buy it and have them store it for a while. Not trying to
Yeah,
give her ideas, but there you go.
and we wouldn't even know how big it could be and stuff like that. So
True. That's
start
fair.
buying again after we move. Exactly.
That's fair. Oh,
And even
now
then,
I understand why you gave me both books. Less to move.
sorta.
Books are
It is the
heavy.
reason why you have the cardboard sleeve around it as well,
That's also fair, yeah. To keep it safe.
like the box set. Because otherwise, it would either be us moving an empty box.
Which is very dangerous because it might rip and tear and all that stuff.
Exactly. Or having you have one of the books and still have like space left over.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm mostly just happy that there's also a book sleeve so I don't accidentally break them, which I generally don't. I'm really good with other people's stuff, but just
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
The better protected, the better.
exactly. I with my own books, I put them in my bag and just go anywhere with them. I wouldn't do that with a borrowed book. Borrowed books are to be read in my house. I do not take
Yeah,
them anywhere because I don't want to risk other people's books being broken. Whereas if it's my books, I don't really care.
then it's yours. It's yours to
Exactly.
destroy.
And I've had one book that I got back completely destroyed by someone that couldn't pay for a replacement, which was fair and fine,
Mm-hmm.
but it did hurt my soul a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that book was actually like the entire uh, back, like the spine was like parts of it were ripped off.
Mm.
Whereas like a black book and you could see the white of the cardboard like actually ripped off.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind breaking the spine. I actually, for some books, I just break my own spine in the middle because I think that one broken spine isn't that bit bad. I don't do that for other people's books. Don't worry, Apple, you're fine. Uh, but I'm also one that like if I can't read a book comfortably without the spine being broken, if it's my own book, I will break the spine. I don't give a shit. But if it's anyone else's book, I will be as careful as I can to not.
Don't break your own spine. Thank you, Apple.
You were daring to say that.
Yeah, it was.
I'll break my own spine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's a move.
That is a mood. Also, I think just as you said mood, my sound disappeared. I don't hear you anymore. think you're back. Can you say something?
I can.
Yay, you're back. Good.
Oh my god.
My headset was being annoying. Without the book context, it sounded very weird. No, that's fair.
Just turn into Bane from what is it, Arkham Knights, I think?
It's from
Arkham
Gotham, at least, yes.
Dark Knight Rises? I don't remember which one.
One of the
third one.
Batman movies.
The third Christian Bale Batman movie. That's
I
what's
think
Bane.
it might be
Second
the
one was
Dark.
Joker.
I think it might be the Dark Knight. Yeah.
I think Dark Knight Rises was the second one.
I have no idea. It's been too long. I'm not that great with superhero movies. I like them, but I don't remember them.
Either way, yeah, Bane from that movie.
Yeah.
Just breaking someone's spine.
I don't think I've actually seen it because I don't remember that, and I probably would have.
I haven't either.
No, that's fair. You would look away just as hard as I would.
Oh, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't look away?
No.
You just wouldn't watch it.
I can see that. I know how it looks. I've
Oh,
seen
it's
it
just
a couple of times.
inside gore that you don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like broken bones, so if people like break their finger or if the arm is like held in a weird position in series and stuff, I already don't want to watch it anymore. And yes, I do watch ER dramas. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm
In this case, it is Bane, who is like 2.5 meters tall and 3.5 meters wide, picking up someone and just slamming them down on his knee. And then they fall and roll off.
No, thank you.
Afterwards, they get up anyway. So it's just the impact, the slam.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see any of it.
Yeah, I probably still wouldn't like that. Because the visual that it conjures in my head is already not okay.
You know what you shouldn't play then? Mortal Kombat.
I wouldn't. I mean, I've played Street Fighter when I was young and I didn't really care.
Yes, but in Street Fighter, you don't actually punch so hard that someone's jaw cracks, which is a visual in the game.
Yeah, no, I'd be fine. Thanks. I won't be doing that.
There's also not characters that spit poison and then eat half of its opponents.
See, this is why I never watched Batman all that much, because I cannot watch Harvey. I cannot look at his face. That's not okay. There's also bits and pieces of series or movies where a character has like a hole in their cheek. I'm not okay with that either. Unless it's like a clean. Even then, I don't like it. But if it's like a clean, purposeful hole, that's fine. But if it's ripped and bloody, no, thank you. I'm good.
That's the milder things in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be playing that anytime soon.
If anyone is playing Mortal Kombat, look away.
Yes.
Like that, to me, that is different because I can't actually see that. I'm okay with watching someone play Mortal Kombat and just kicking the shit out of things so hard that they break.
Oh, really? Cool. Well, that's an issue, isn't it? I like Misha. He's great.
Yeah.
I probably still won't watch it. Too scared that the visual will be too much for me.
And then never be able to look at his face again without seeing that?
No, I probably would be fine with that. I'm usually okay with that, but it doesn't sound good for me to watch something like that. Again, it's stupid because I do watch all of the medical dramas and I do see stuff there. I'm also doing something else, so it's enough of a distraction to not think about it too much.
Well, then do that here too.
Yeah, I might. Maybe.
That way you can at least see the movie.
True. We'll figure it out. It's fine. We mostly watch Marvel stuff so far. We don't really watch a lot of.
If you're like, oh, that doesn't count as seeing the movie or watching the movie because I didn't watch it, I was doing
I mean,
something else at the time, then
I count
technically,
listening
me
audiobooks as
reading a
reading.
book while listening to the audiobook, it also doesn't count then.
I think it counts. I think it always still counts. As long as you are consuming it, I think it still counts. As I said
Exactly.
yesterday in the car.
Yes. Nom 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 nom.
Nom. Consume the book. Consume the movie.
Delicious books.
The books might fall very heavily on your stomach, whereas the movie is probably very light.
Yeah, the audiobooks are a light snack.
Yeah. Filled with air. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine seeing a lot of things. I've seen a lot in real life as well. That's also fair. I have a lot less issue with animals for some reason.
Would you consider paying for a service like Nextory or Storytel or what's the other one, Audible? Would you consider that a sound investment?
That's stupid. Thank you. Because of course you had to.
Yes. A very sound investment.
Harut. I wasn't gonna give you the confirmation. Like, nope. I do wonder if Apple realized what you meant until she said, "God damn it."
Oh, I'm pretty sure. The moment she said yes, she knew.
Okay, then it's good.
So is that a or is that a
You realized it
Who
up
knows?
there.
I'm so sorry, but also not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Pun always intended.
Yes. Even when it's unintentional.
Yes. Pun always intended. Definitely not sorry.
I'm a little out of topics, guys.
Yeah.
So,
I
for
resorted to a terrible pun because I didn't have anything else to say.
that's fair, that makes sense. So we aren't completely sure when our next stream is going to be. Make sure to keep the Discord in check. I will always post the week of when we will be streaming again.
It should be in 3 weeks.
We will keep that
We
in.
can't promise
Yeah,
that.
we will keep that in rotation, but like, just keep in mind that it might be a little shifted.
Yeah.
Been a good time, I agree.
That is good to hear.
Well, I hope everyone will have a nice day. Actually, I should probably check if there's anyone to. How am I going to do that? I guess you will see my full face because I don't like showing my entire thing.
No.
Twitch, showing my entire browser because I have a lot of tabs. I'm one of those people that has like a million tabs on a group of tabs and all the things. I don't really have anyone I want to raid.
Oh boy. I don't have anyone either.
Well, I hope everyone will have a nice rest of their Sunday. Make sure to check out Joker's stream tonight. He's streaming D&D. I happen to know. He told me that he was and then he told me that he was prepping for it yesterday morning, so I kind of knew that was gonna happen.
Ah, yes.
So make sure to check that out tonight, and yeah, I hope everyone will have a nice Sunday. And
check out Joker's stream. He's an amazing person.
Exactly.
Do the thing. It's fun.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.